Hello, I'm Maria Medellin, and this is my digital testimonial. I come from a Mexican family, and I was born in Matamoros, Tamaulipas. I have been attending school in Brownsville, Texas since kinder. I attended Incarnate Academy Catholic School from kinder all the way through 6th grade. I remember I would struggle with English language so much. Even though I had the help from my teachers and tutors, what I really remember is learning English with my mother. Even though my mother is not fluent in English, she would always manage to help me with the language. My mother was a general teacher in Matamoros. She would try so hard to practice English language. She would read books to help her learn English more fluently. Every night, we would read short English children books. Some of the books would be bilingual and other only English. I can say as time passed, my mom would prepare me even more day by day. I remember one day I lost it and I told her that learning English was just really hard for me. She smiled back at me and said that everything will be okay, that she will support me in every step I made. Time passed and I managed to learn English thanks to my mom. We became residents and we came to Brownsville, Texas. Few years passed and she wanted to work. She wanted to be a teacher. She knew it was going to be a challenge because education is very different from Mexico and the United States. She managed to get a job as a teacher for the immigrant children. I remember the first months she would come very frustrated and she would even cry on how stressed it was. The children came from very poor backgrounds. The children didn't have any educational background, so my mom had to start from the ABCs. Most of the children would be from 10 years old through 17. It surprised me how even though my mother would come very stressed, she would never give up. I also remember I would tell her to quit the job. She would respond to me with a big no. I would ask her why, and she said, every one of us have had difficulty in education, either in trying to know the language or just on the subjects in general. Just like you struggled with learning English and now you're fluent in it. It just takes time and practice. She also mentioned a few of the children's stories. Those children suffer on their way to the United States. Little girls get raped, others suffer from sickness, and others never see their families again. I thought about those years that I struggled, and I also thought about the children. Those children suffer so much, but even though they suffer, they are in the United States now. Those students, even though they have traumas, they still want to learn to have a better future. Seeing my mom come back from her work and telling me that the children didn't want her to leave, it means a lot. She changed a small part of their lives. I realized that I wanted to look at the things the easy way by wanting my mom to quit her job because of how hard it looked. But my mom showed me that there will always be struggles in our lives, and it is up to us if we want to succeed in our future. After a few months passed, I would see my mom differently. She would come with a smile on her face and she would always talk about her students. I asked her why, and she said that the students were getting so much better on their education, and they would thank her for it. I was surprised because I knew that feeling, and mostly I remember how my mom would work so hard on my education. A few years passed, and after attending elementary, middle school, and high school, it was time for me to choose a major for college. I confidently said I wanted to be on the business major. After a semester, I knew business wasn't the right major for me. I really didn't know what I wanted. After thinking about my past, something popped up. I remembered how my mother would always support me in my education and how she helped so many children to become better in their education. I remembered that happiness that the children felt when they wouldn't give up on their education, and how they were thankful to my mother because she was patient and never lost faith in them. It surprised me how one person can make you decide on an important decision. I feel confident because that person is my mother. Now I want to become a teacher just like her to make my students' education more fun and memorable. I know it will not be as easy as it seems, but I will try my hardest to fulfill that dream, and I'm just steps away from it. I just want to thank my mother for always being there on every step I took to get where I am today. And I am very proud of what she has become today and what I have and I will become because of her.